Chosen one, listen to me carefully. What I am about to share is not meant for everyone. This message is urgent, precise, and perfectly timed by God. If you are not walking in the path He has set for you, if you are not serious about your spiritual calling, then this may not be for you. Only those who are truly chosen by God will feel something stirring deep within their spirit as they hear these words. If you are still reading, if you are still here, it is because this message was meant to find you at this exact moment in your life. It is no accident. Heaven does not waste timing, and this is a message of divine appointment. Chosen one, your life, your influence, and the direction of your days are now in your hands in a way that few can understand. God has gifted you a power that is heavy, sacred, and rare. Not everyone can carry it, and even fewer can truly comprehend it. What you do next, choices you make in this season, and the way you stand in this moment will have consequences far beyond what you can see right now. I know your soul has been carrying heaviness. I know you have been questioning why life feels so intense, why your spirit seems burdened, and why your heart has been tested more than you expected. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to hear will bring clarity to your mind, peace to your heart, and strength to your spirit in a way that will surprise you. Before we go further, chosen ones, take a moment. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, tap the bell icon so you never miss messages meant for you, and comment 777 to declare that you are aligned with the divine calling God has placed on your life. Now let us speak directly to your spirit, where the quiet stirring is taking place. There is a hidden weight that you carry, chosen one, a weight that most people will never see, that even those closest to you may not understand. It is not written on your face, and it is not always spoken aloud, but it rests deep in your spirit. You have felt it from a young age. Quiet pressure, a sense that your life was never meant to be ordinary, never meant to simply follow the flow of the world. While others went through life lightly, you felt everything more intensely. You felt joy more deeply, sorrow more painfully, and responsibilities more heavily. And for years you did not understand why. Let me make this clear so your mind can finally rest. That weight is not a burden meant to break you. It is a mark of trust, a sign that God has confidence in your capacity. He does not place heavy spiritual responsibility on fragile or untested souls. The fact that this weight has rested on you, even in moments of doubt or struggle, is proof that God knew you could handle it. That is why, from early on, your life may have felt different, unusual, or harder than others. Many chosen ones grow up feeling separate, distinct, and unable to explain why. You may have tried to fit in with friends, with family, with colleagues, or with social groups, but something always felt off. Conversations may have felt shallow, crowds may have felt draining. You often picked up on emotions, energies, or unspoken truths in ways others never could. And because of this sensitivity, you may have felt misunderstood, even isolated at times. It is not because you are complicated, but because your spirit is tuned to a deeper frequency. This is why your life has felt heavier than most. While others were learning how to survive in the world, you were learning endurance. While others chased comfort or avoided pain, you were being shaped by experiences that taught patience, resilience, and wisdom. God was not being cruel to you. He was preparing you for something greater. From early on, chosen ones are often given responsibilities that are unusual for their age. You may have been leaned on by others, even when your own resources felt empty. That was not an accident. God was building a strong foundation within you long before revealing why this was necessary. I know there have been days when you feel utterly exhausted, chosen one. Not just physically, but spiritually. You wake up already feeling drained. Your mind feels crowded, your heart feels heavy, and you may wonder why rest never seems to fully restore you. That exhaustion is not a weakness. It is the natural result of carrying awareness, sensitivity, and understanding in a world that does not always honor depth. You process life differently. You do not just experience events. You absorb them. You reflect, analyze, pray, and question. That depth is a gift, but it comes with responsibility. For years, no one may have taught you how to manage it, how to carry it without feeling overwhelmed. Let me speak into your heart about another truth that has lingered quietly in your mind. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your emotional depth is not a liability. Your empathy is not a weakness. These qualities were given to you intentionally, chosen one, because God designed you to operate with. He knew that hardened hearts cannot heal, detached souls cannot carry spiritual assignments, and shallow minds cannot perceive divine truths. These gifts make you capable of carrying assignments that others cannot. But here is something most never tell you. Being chosen does not mean you are always strong. It means you are resilient. It means you break, but you rebuild. It means you fail, sometimes deeply, yet you do not surrender. God did not choose you because you never fall. He chose you because you always rise. Because no matter how heavy the trials, no matter how dark the seasons, you find the strength to stand again, to learn, to grow, and to move forward with wisdom and clarity. This is also why loneliness has accompanied you at various stages of life. It is not because you are unlovable. It is because your spirit requires alignment, not just companionship. There were people you walked away from even when everything appeared right on the surface, because deep down something felt off. That was your discernment awakening, helping you recognize where energy, trust, and spiritual alignment were missing. Chosen ones often experience isolation before empowerment. God separates before He elevates. He removes you from noise, distraction, and unaligned environments so that you can hear Him clearly without interference. And yes, this separation can hurt. It can feel unfair, confusing, or lonely, but it is necessary. It is a vital part of preparation for what is coming. You have also questioned yourself more than most. You replay moments, conversations, and decisions in your mind. You may wonder if you acted correctly, if you spoke the right words, or if you could have changed outcomes. This self-reflection is not weakness. It is proof of your heightened responsibility, your awareness that your choices carry weight. Even when circumstances are beyond your control, you feel the responsibility deeply. Let me bring peace to that part of you that is overwhelmed. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not too much. You are becoming. The pressure you feel is not meant to crush you. Pressure is the tool that refines, strengthens, and shapes you into the person capable of carrying what God has entrusted to you. Pressure shapes diamonds. It does not destroy them. If your life has felt heavy, it is because God entrusted weight to you before revealing the reason. And now, as you absorb this message, understand this clearly. You are not carrying this alone anymore. Awareness brings relief. Understanding brings rest. Clarity brings strength. Take a deep breath. You were never weak. You were always chosen. Now, chosen one, I want you to slow your mind and listen carefully to the next truth. God is transferring authority into your hands. Authority is sacred. It is not something given lightly. It is never handed to the careless, the unstable, or the unprepared. Authority is transferred only after the soul has been tested, refined, and proven faithful in silence. And that is why your life has unfolded as it has. Every season, every challenge, every moment of waiting, every instance of misunderstanding was part of preparing you for a transfer of spiritual authority you may not have even realized was coming. Power and authority are not the same. Many people desire power because it can be used for control or influence. Authority is different. Authority comes with responsibility, wisdom, and restraint. Authority allows you to influence outcomes without force, to carry weight without becoming burdened, and to operate in alignment with God's will. God entrusts this kind of authority only to those who have learned humility through hardship. You have walked through seasons where you felt powerless. Moments when no matter how hard you tried, things did not move. Opportunities stayed closed, doors remained shut, answers were delayed, and people misunderstood you. And in those moments, God was teaching you a crucial lesson, how to surrender outcomes while staying faithful, obedient, and steadfast. That lesson is the foundation of true authority. Authority is not about demanding results. It is about alignment. When a chosen one aligns fully with God, their presence alone changes environments. Their words carry weight even when spoken soft. Their choices ripple beyond what they can immediately see. This is not imagination. This is spiritual law, divine principle, and truth. The transfer of authority into your hands did not happen all at once. It happened gradually through endurance, faithfulness, and integrity. Every time you acted with honesty when no one was watching, your authority increased. Every time you forgave instead of becoming bitter, your influence grew. Every time you stayed faithful in uncertainty, your capacity for responsibility expanded. Chosen one. You may not have noticed, but people already respond differently to you. Some feel drawn to you even without knowing why. Others may feel uneasy around you, unable to explain their discomfort. This is not a reflection of personality or effort. This is spiritual influence. You are carrying authority that others sense instinctively. Chosen one, listen to me carefully. What I am about to share is not for everyone. This message is urgent, precise, and divinely timed. If you are not walking the path of God, if you are not serious about your spiritual calling, you should not continue watching. Only those who are truly chosen by God will feel something stirring in their spirit right now. And if you are still here, it is because this message was meant to reach you at this exact moment in your life. This is not a coincidence. Heaven does not waste timing. Chosen one, their life is now in your hand. God has gifted you a power that few can carry and even fewer can understand. What you do next, what you choose next, and how you stand in this season will affect more than just you. I know your soul has been heavy. I know you have been questioning why everything feels so intense lately. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to hear will bring clarity, peace, and strength to your spirit in a way you did not expect. Authority changes how others see you, even before you say a word. Let me be very clear so there is no confusion. This authority is not meant for pride, ego, or personal recognition. The moment ego enters, authority loses its power. God did not choose you to control, dominate, or force people to follow you. He chose you to steward moments, to guide direction, and to bring clarity where confusion or uncertainty exists. Authority in God's kingdom is always meant to serve, not to oppress. It is about influence, not control. There have been times when you wanted recognition, times when you longed for validation, moments when you felt invisible despite giving your best, and efforts that went unnoticed. God intentionally withheld applause, praise, or recognition during those times. He was protecting. Early recognition, unearned attention, or praise before preparation can corrupt authority. Praise before maturity often produces pride, and pride fractures spiritual power. You have learned to stand without being seen. You have learned to keep going without encouragement. You have learned to trust God without guarantees. These lessons were not wasted. They were carefully placed in your path to prepare you for the authority you are stepping into. Now, as authority begins to settle in your life, you may start noticing subtle shifts within yourself. You may feel a quiet confidence that does not depend on achievement, awards, or recognition. A calm knowing emerges within you that you do not need to prove yourself to anyone. This calm awareness creates discernment, a natural pause before action, a space where wisdom operates. That is authority awakening in you. Authority also brings awareness. You become more conscious of your words, how easily they can shape reality, or how careless speech can unintentionally close doors or create unnecessary tension. This is not superstition or imagination. God has sharpened your understanding of spiritual cause and effect. Life responds to alignment. Actions, words, and intentions ripple outward in ways unseen but deeply felt. Chosen one, understand why God did not give this authority early. You are still learning how to hold it without hurting yourself or others. Immature authority creates confusion and chaos, while mature authority produces peace. And peace, chosen one, is one of the clearest signs of God's presence in a person's life. You may feel fear or hesitation as you process these words. You might ask yourself, am I really ready for this responsibility? That question itself is proof that you are ready. The unprepared rush forward without thought or reflection. The chosen pause, pray, reflect, and move with wisdom. Authority does not mean life will suddenly become easy. You will still face challenges, struggle, and uncertainty, but you will respond differently. You will pause before reacting. You will listen before speaking. You will move when guided, not when pressed. The authority God places in your hands also establishes boundaries. You are learning to say no without guilt, to step back without explanation, and to protect your energy without apology. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. You are learning to honor your inner world, your call, and your spirit. There will also be moments when you feel the urge to intervene, to speak, or to act on behalf of others. Be discerning. Authority does not mean fixing everything for everyone. It does not mean forcing outcomes or taking on burdens that are not yours. Authority means acting when God instructs you to act and remaining silent when He instructs you to wait. Silence is sometimes more powerful than words or actions. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. God trusts you. Heaven would not place authority in the hands of someone who could not handle it. You are not imagining this shift. You are stepping into it. And as this authority begins to settle within you, you will notice something beautiful. The pressure you once felt begins to transform into purpose. Confusion begins to give way to clarity. The weight you have carried for so long now becomes manageable because you understand why it was placed on your shoulders. This authority was never meant to overwhelm you. It was given to align you, to help you step into your divine role. When you walk in alignment with God, life responds. Circumstances, relationships, and opportunities shift naturally. Hold this truth gently but firmly in your spirit. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who God prepared you to be from the very beginning. Chosen one, this authority will also teach you patience in ways you never experienced before. You will no longer feel rushed or pressured by the world around you. Situations that once caused anxiety will now bring discernment. You will begin to sense when to move forward and when to wait, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Divine authority protects you in this way. It slows you down enough to hear God clearly while strengthening you to act decisively when the time is right. You are not late. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. The life placed in your hands is sacred, significant, and intentional. Chosen one, when you hear the phrase that their life is now in your hand, your mind may try to interpret it through fear, pressure, or misunderstanding. Release all of that now. God does not place lives in the hands of his chosen ones to burden them with anxiety. He does it to awaken awareness, responsibility, and sacred influence. This is not about control. This is about stewardship. Let me calm your spirit before we go further. You are not responsible for outcomes that only God can control. You are not being asked to carry the full weight of another soul's destiny alone. What has been placed in your hands is influence, timing, and presence. Influence guided by God can shift the trajectory of a life without force, coercion, or manipulation. Chosen ones carry a quiet power. You may not speak often, but when you do, your words leave lasting impressions. You may not act loudly, but your actions create unseen ripples. God has shaped you to be a person whose very presence can bring clarity, comfort, and conviction. This is why people open up to you unexpectedly. Strangers may share deep truths with you without hesitation. This is not coincidence. You are a safe space, not because of your own effort, but because God formed you that way. When God places a life into your hands, it often happens through seemingly small moments, not titles, positions, or public roles. A timely conversation, a word spoken gently to someone who was on the verge of giving up, a decision that unknowingly created space for someone to heal. These moments are spiritually significant, even if they seem ordinary to you. You may walk away from interactions feeling their weight, even when nothing dramatic occurred. That weight is awareness. You sense that what you said or did not say mattered. Chosen ones often do not realize the magnitude of their influence until God reveals. Let me clarify this clearly. This is not about saving people. Only God saves. You are not the source. You are a vessel, a channel through which God moves to reach hearts that are wounded, closed, or lost. Understanding this should bring relief, not pressure. When you see yourself as a channel, you stop trying to force results. You become present. You listen more. You speak with intention. You allow God to act through you rather than trying to act for him. Chosen one, there is a reason God did not reveal this responsibility earlier in your life. If he had, you would have tried to carry it with fear, overextended yourself, or taken on guilt that was never yours. Now, with the maturity you have gained, you can hold this truth with balance, clarity, and strength. You may notice that when you are aligned, the world around you naturally shifts. Tension softens, conversations become easier, and conflicts resolve without confrontation. This is not coincidence. It is alignment at work. God uses your inner state to influence external outcomes. There will be times when you feel the weight of knowing that something you did or did not do mattered profoundly to someone else. When that happens, do not punish yourself. Reflect, learn, and release it to God. Guilt does not increase influence. Wisdom does. Chosen ones must learn this early. You are accountable for obedience, not outcomes. When God instructs you to speak, speak. When he instructs you to remain silent, remain silent. The results belong to him. There is a sacred balance you are learning. compassion without attachment, responsibility without control, love without rescue. Chosen one, authority changes how others perceive you even before you speak. Let me be clear, so there is no confusion. This authority is not for ego. The moment ego enters, authority weakens. God did not choose you to dominate others. He chose you to steward moments, to guide direction, and to bring clarity where there is confusion. Authority in God's kingdom always serves, never oppresses. There were times when you wanted recognition, times when you wanted validation, times when you felt invisible despite your effort. God withheld applause on purpose. He was protecting you. Early recognition can corrupt authority. Praise before preparation creates pride, and pride fractures spiritual power. You learned how to stand without being seen. You learned how to continue without encouragement. You learned how to trust God without guarantees. These lessons were not wasted. They were necessary. Now, as authority settles into your life, you may feel a shift. A subtle confidence that does not come from achievement. A calm knowing that you do not need to prove yourself. A discernment that makes you pause before acting. That is authority awakening. Authority also brings awareness. You are more conscious of your words now. You notice how easily things can be spoken into existence or shut down by negativity. This is not superstition. God has sharpened your understanding of spiritual cause and effect. Life responds to alignment. Chosen one, there is a reason God did not give this authority earlier. You were still learning how to hold it without hurting yourself or others. Immature authority creates chaos. Mature authority creates peace, and peace is one of the clearest signs that God is present. Let me address the fear that may rise in you when you hear this. You may think, am I ready for this responsibility? That question itself is proof that you are. The unprepared rush forward without reflection. The chosen pause, pray, and proceed with wisdom. Authority does not mean you will never struggle again. It means you will struggle differently. You will respond rather than react. You will listen before you speak. You will move when led, not when pressured. God's authority in your hands also means boundary. You are learning to say no without guilt. You are stepping back without explaining yourself. You are protecting your energy without apologizing. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. There are also moments when you feel the urge to intervene, to speak, to act on behalf of others. Be discerning. Authority does not mean you fix everything. It means you act when God instructs you to. Silence is sometimes more powerful than action. Chosen one, understand this deeply. God trusts you. Heaven would not place authority in hands that could not handle. You are not imagining this shift. You are stepping into it, and as this authority settles, you will notice something beautiful. The pressure you once felt begins to transform into purpose. The confusion gives way to clarity. The weight becomes manageable because now you understand why you carry it. This authority was not given to overwhelm you. It was given to align you. And when you walk in alignment, life responds. Hold this truth gently but firmly in your spirit. You are not becoming someone else. You are finally becoming who God prepared you to be all along. Chosen one, this authority will also teach you patience in a new way. You will feel less rushed by the world and more led by God's timing. What once triggered anxiety will now invite discernment. You will sense when to move forward and when to wait, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. This is how divine authority protects. It slows you down enough to hear God clearly, yet strengthens you enough to act without hesitation when the moment arrives. You are not late. You are precisely positioned. The life placed in your hands what it really means. Chosen one, when you hear the words, their life is now in your hand, your mind may try to interpret it through fear, pressure, or misunderstanding. I want you to release all of that right now. God does not place lives into the hands of his chosen ones to burden them with anxiety. He does it to activate awareness, responsibility, and sacred influence. This is not about control. This is about stewardship. Let me bring calm to your spirit first. God has not made you responsible for outcomes that only he can control. You are not being asked to carry the weight of another soul's destiny alone. What has been placed in your hands is influence, timing, and presence. And influence, when guided by God, can change the direction of a life without force or manipulation. Chosen ones carry a quiet power. You may not speak often, but when you do, your words linger. You may not always act loudly, but your actions leave impressions. God has shaped you to be someone whose presence alone can bring clarity, comfort, or conviction. This is why people open up to you unexpectedly. This is why strangers tell you things they have never told anyone else. You are a safe space, not because you tried to be, but because God formed you that way. When God places a life in your hands, it often happens through moments, not titles. A conversation at the right time. A word spoken gently when someone was ready to give up. A decision you made that unknowingly created space for someone else to heal. These moments may seem small to you, but in the spiritual realm, they are significant. You have probably walked away from interactions wondering why they felt heavy, even though nothing dramatic happened. That weight was awareness. You sensed that what you said or did not say mattered. Chosen ones are often unaware of how much influence they carry until God reveals it. Let me be very clear here. This is not about saving people. Only God saves. This is about being used as a vessel through which God can reach hearts that are closed, wounded, or lost. You are not the source. You are the channel. This understanding should bring relief, not pressure. Because when you realize you are a channel, you stop trying to force results. You become present. You listen more. You speak with intention. You allow God to move through you rather than trying to move for Him. Chosen one, there is also a reason why God did not explain this responsibility earlier in your life. You would have tried to carry it with fear. You would have overextended yourself. You would have taken on guilt that was never yours. Now you have the maturity to hold this truth with balance. You may notice that when you are aligned, things around you shift naturally. Tension eases. Conversations soften. Conflicts resolve without confrontation. This is not coincidence. This is alignment at work. God uses your inner state to influence outer outcomes. There will also be times when you feel the weight of knowing that something you did or did not do mattered deeply to someone else. When that happens, do not punish yourself. Reflect, learn, and release it to God. Guilt does not improve influence. Wisdom does. Chosen ones must learn this early. You are accountable for obedience, not results. When God instructs you to speak, speak. When He instructs you to be silent, be silent. The outcome belongs to Him. There is a sacred balance you are learning. Compassion without attachment, responsibility without control, love without rescue. This balance protects both you and the person God is working through you to reach. It is a delicate balance that requires attention and awareness because some people will not understand your role. Some will project their expectations onto you. They may rely on you too heavily or assume that because God is using you, you are responsible for solving every problem, meeting every need, or carrying every burden. This is where discernment becomes essential. Not every cry, not every request, not every plea is your assignment to carry. Not every need is yours to meet. God will always make your assignment clear, but only if you remain connected to Him. The connection with God is the most important tool you have to navigate this responsibility wisely. It allows you to hear His guidance, to feel His timing, and to act only when He is directing you. When you remain grounded in Him, mistakes do not define you. Let me speak to the fear that arises when you consider making mistakes. You will make them. You may stumble, misunderstand, or misstep. That does not mean you are disqualified from your calling. What matters is your heart, your willingness to remain humble, teachable, and open to correction. God corrects gently when the heart is aligned. He does not shame or punish when your intentions are sincere. You will also notice that as this responsibility becomes clearer in your life, your tolerance for manipulation, unnecessary drama, and chaos begins to decrease. You may find that you no longer tolerate situations or people that pull you into conflict or distraction. You are not becoming cold or distant. You are becoming focused. Your spirit recognizes that peace is necessary for clarity. Peace is the environment in which discernment grows, and discernment is the key to handling authority well. Chosen one, the life placed in your hands may not be just one person. See, it may be seasons, it may be environments, it may be entire communities, or even future generations influenced by the choices you make today. You may never see the full impact of your actions in this lifetime. That is okay. God sees it. He understands the ripple effects of your obedience. This responsibility also explains why your words matter more than ever. Speak life. Speak truth gently. Speak only when necessary. Speak less when emotions are high. Learn the value of silence. Sometimes staying quiet at the right time could protect far more than words ever could. Understand this deeply. God did not choose you because you are perfect. He chose you because you are available, aware, and willing to grow. That is enough. Your willingness to be used, to be present, and to respond when led is what makes you capable. As you settle into this truth, the fear will fade. The pressure you once felt will soften. What will remain is purpose, quiet, steady, and grounded. You are not holding someone's life in your hand to control it. You are holding a moment in time where your obedience can align with God's will. And that is a sacred place to stand. Take another breath. You are not overwhelmed. You are entrusted. Chosen one, there is another layer to this truth that your spirit is ready to understand. When God places a life in your hands, He is also teaching you responsibility over your own inner world. You cannot guide, influence, or protect what God is doing through you if your spirit is unsettled. This is why inner peace has become non-negotiable. God is training you to guard your heart because everything that flows through you first passes through your inner state. You may have noticed that when you are emotionally drained, your clarity diminishes, your patience shortens, and your discernment becomes blurred. That is not failure, that is feedback. God is showing you that rest, stillness, and reflection are now part of your assignment. You are no longer called to operate from exhaustion. You are called to operate from alignment. This is why some connections have faded without explanation. God did not remove them to punish you or isolate you. He removed them to reduce noise, to create space, to preserve your focus. Too many voices distort clarity. Too many demands dilute authority. God is simplifying your environment so that your influence remains pure, strong, and effective. Chosen one, understand this. You are not responsible for convincing anyone of anything. You are not here to argue truth into people. Your life itself carries a message. The way you respond under pressure, the way you choose peace over reaction, the way you walk away instead of proving a point, these choices speak louder than words ever could. There will be moments when someone's healing depends on you not stepping in. That may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is true. Sometimes God uses absence to teach dependence on Him rather than dependence on you. Knowing when to step back is just as important as knowing when to step forward. This is wisdom. You are also learning restraint. Not every truth needs to be spoken immediately. Not every revelation is meant to be shared all at once. God reveals in layers. Timing matters. When you respect timing, you protect the work He is doing in others. Chosen one, let me remove another hidden pressure from your spirit. You are not meant to carry emotional responsibility for how others respond to God's work through you. If someone rejects wisdom, that does not make you ineffective. If someone resists growth, that does not mean you have failed. Free will exists. God honors it, and so must you. This understanding will free you. You will stop overthinking interactions, replaying conversations in your mind, or asking yourself if you did enough. You did what you were instructed to do. That is enough. As this clarity settles in your life, you will notice a shift in how you carry yourself. Your posture changes, your voice softens, your reactions slow down. This is not passivity. This is authority under control. Controlled strength is far more powerful than uncontrolled force. Chosen ones do not rush to be heard. They speak when it matters. They do not chase influence. Influence follows them. They do not fear responsibility. They respect it. God has also been teaching you boundaries through discomfort. When something feels draining now, it is because your spirit recognizes misalignment faster than before. Discernment is a form of protection. There will be moments when you feel the weight of knowing that your presence matters. Let that awareness humble you, not frighten you. Humility keeps authority pure. Pride corrupts it. Fear paralyzes it. Balance sustains it. Chosen one, the life placed in your hands is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be present, obedient, and grounded. When you walk in those three things, God does the rest. You are not standing in this position by accident. You are standing here because heaven trusts you, and heaven does not make mistakes. Let this truth settle gently into your spirit. You are not overwhelmed by this responsibility. You are growing into it. Why has this power awakened now, chosen one? If it had awakened earlier in your life, it would have overwhelmed you. That is the truth. Many are not ready to hear this. God never moves ahead of your maturity. He He moves with precision, not urgency. The reason this authority is surfacing now is that your spirit has finally reached a place where it can carry it without breaking. You may feel as though everything intensified suddenly. Your thoughts have deepened, your emotions sharpened, and your discernment has become unavoidable. You started seeing patterns, motives, intentions, and truths you once ignored. This did not happen randomly. This is awakening guided by God, not driven by ego. There are seasons in life when God allows you to remain unaware for your own protection. You were not delayed. You were shielded. Had you carried this level of awareness while still healing old wounds, you would have confused responsibility with guilt. You would have tried to save everyone and lost yourself in the process. God waited until you learned the difference between compassion and self-sacrifice. Chosen one, the timing of God is not based on your age, success, or visibility. It is based on your inner stability. You can only be entrusted with power when your identity is no longer fragile. Something shifted inside you recently. You stopped chasing approval. You stopped needing validation. You became quieter but stronger. That inner shift opened the door for this awakening. This season feels different because it is different. You are no longer being prepared. You are being positioned. Preparation teaches endurance. Positioning requires discernment. Your decisions now matter more because your influence has increased. You may have noticed that certain distractions no longer satisfy you. Conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. Environments you once tolerated now feel draining. This is not judgment. This is clarity. God is refining your focus, protecting your energy, and guiding your attention toward what truly matters. Chosen one, power awakens when alignment is complete. Alignment between your values, your faith, and your identity. In earlier seasons, parts of you were at war with each other. You wanted peace, but were still trying to please people. You wanted purpose, but feared rejection. Those inner conflicts diluted your authority. Now they are resolving. This awakening is also happening because cycles are closing. You are finishing lessons that once kept repeating. The same emotional triggers no longer control you. The same temptations have lost power over you. This is maturity, and maturity unlocks trust. God does not give new authority while old wounds still dictate reactions. He waits until healing brings stability. That is why you had to sit with discomfort, why answers were delayed, why silence became familiar. Silence teaches listening, and listening is essential for leadership. Chosen one, this power awakened now because the world around you is shifting. People are searching for grounding, truth, and chaos creates opportunity for clarity. God positions his chosen ones in seasons where their presence is necessary, not just helpful. You are not called to add to the noise. You are called to anchor peace. That assignment requires maturity, restraint, and the ability to stay centered when others panic. That ability is now present in you. You may feel urgency, but it is not anxiety. It is readiness. Anxiety pushes. Readiness waits and acts when led to run the difference. God's urgency is calm. It is steady. It does not rush you into mistakes. Let me speak to the confusion you may still feel. Awakening does not come with a full map. God reveals the next step, not the entire path. This keeps you dependent on him, not on your own understanding. Trust grows through obedience, not certainty. You are awakening now because you have learned humility. You know your limits. You know you need God. Early power without humility leads to collapse. Late power with humility leads to legacy. Chosen one, this season asks you to trust the process you once questioned. Everything that did not make sense before is aligning now. The delays, detours, and disappointments shape discernment rather than punishing. This awakening is not about doing more. It is about being more intentional, speaking fewer words, making clearer choices, establishing stronger boundaries, and living with deeper faith. You may also notice stronger resistance as you approach alignment. Doubt may whisper louder. Fatigue may surface unexpectedly. This is not a sign to stop. It is a signal to ground yourself deeper. Resistance often appears before stabilization. Chosen one, power awakens when the soul becomes calm enough to carry it. Chaos cannot hold authority. Peace can. This is why God waited. This is why now you are not late. You are not early. You are exactly where heaven intended you to be. Every moment, every step, every pause has been orchestrated for this very season of your life. And this awakening is not meant to overwhelm you. It is not here to create fear, pressure, or confusion. It is meant to settle you into who you truly are. It is meant to help you recognize your value, your purpose, and your place in the divine plan. Take a moment to breathe deeply and let that truth sink into your heart. Let it rest in your spirit. Feel it. You are ready, chosen one. There is something else you must understand about why this power awakened in you now, at this precise time. God does not awaken authority when the heart is desperate. That is a common misconception. Desperation leads to rushed decisions, impulsive actions, and outcomes that lack clarity. Desperation is often reactive, driven by fear, insecurity, or a need to prove oneself. But God awakens authority when the heart is settled, when the spirit has grown into a place of trust, patience, and quiet confidence. Settlement creates discernment, and discernment is the very thing that protects you and those who are influenced by your life. You have entered a season where you no longer feel the need to rush your growth, your understanding, or your becoming. Earlier in your life, you wanted answers immediately. You wanted clarity quickly, without waiting. You wanted relief from challenges, confusion, and uncertainty without delay. You wanted your path to be clear and predictable. But now, something has shifted within you. You have learned to sit with uncertainty without losing faith. You have learned to be patient, to allow God to reveal His timing, and to trust that every delay, every pause, and every moment of waiting carries meaning. That ability alone signals to heaven that you are ready for this authority. This power awakened in your life now because you have finally grasped an essential truth. Waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is not a period of inactivity or stagnation. Waiting is a refining process. Waiting refines your intentions, stripping away ego and revealing what truly matters. It teaches patience, resilience, and trust. Waiting allows the spirit to grow without pressure. God waited until you stopped demanding timelines and started trusting the process. He waited until you surrendered your need for immediate outcomes and learned to honor His timing. Chosen one, notice how your prayers have changed over time. They are no longer solely about asking for things, for material outcomes, or immediate results. Your prayers now focus on wisdom, clarity, alignment, and peace. That shift is not small. It is a clear sign of spiritual maturity. You do not depend on recognition, approval, or validation from people to confirm your worth. That inner security is rare, and heaven honors it. You may also notice that you are less interested in proving your faith or defending your beliefs to others. You no longer argue truth. You embody it through your actions, your presence, and the way you live. This shift is significant. God entrusts authority to those who reflect Him quietly, steadily, and faithfully, not to those who announce themselves loudly or seek recognition through outward displays. There is also a divine urgency connected to timing that is beyond your control. Others are entering seasons of their lives where your presence, your words, and even your silence will matter more than you can yet see. Your influence will land differently than it has in the past. Your silence will speak more loudly than words ever could. God aligns awakenings with assignments. This power surfaced now because the world around you is ready to receive what you carry. Do not be surprised if opportunities arise that feel unfamiliar, uncomfortable, or outside of your previous experience, yet align with the truth in your spirit. Growth often feels unnatural before it becomes natural. Trust what resonates with peace rather than what feeds fear, doubt, or insecurity. Chosen one, remember this. God does not awaken power in you to impress you, to test you, or to create pressure. He awakens it to anchor you, to steady you, and to position you as a point of calm guidance and wisdom in a shifting world. If moments of doubt arise, do not panic. Doubt does not cancel your readiness. It confirms your awareness. Unaware souls do not question their position or purpose. Aware souls do. This season is not asking you to become someone new. It is asking you to trust who you have become. Allow the power in you to settle gradually. Do not rush to use it prematurely. Authority is revealed naturally through alignment, through faithfulness, through consistency, and through obedience. You do not need to announce it. Those who are meant to recognize it will. You are ready not because you are perfect, but because you are grounded. Grounded souls carry heaven. Stay present, stay humble, stay aligned. This awakening did not come early. It came right on time. You may be wondering how to carry this power without exhausting yourself or breaking under the weight of responsibility. Chosen one, power without wisdom exhausts the soul. That is precisely why God did not awaken this authority in you until now. Carrying what God has placed in your hands requires a new way of living, thinking, and responding. If you try to carry this power the way you carried old responsibilities, you will feel overwhelmed, drained, and anxious. But if you carry it the way God intends, it will bring peace, stability, and clarity. The first truth you must understand is this: you are no longer meant to operate from constant effort or striving. Striving was necessary in earlier seasons because it built endurance, resilience, and strength. Boundaries are another vital part of carrying this power. In earlier seasons, you may have said yes too often. You tried to be everything to everyone. You carried burdens that were never yours to bear. That season taught empathy, compassion, and understanding, but it also taught you limits. Chosen one, you do not break under divine authority when you allow it to guide you in the manner God designed. Instead of being a weight that strains you, this power will strengthen you, steady you, and make you more capable, more focused, and more patient. Remain grounded in who you are. You may notice that as you grow calmer, more centered, and more aligned, the opposition becomes subtler. The enemy rarely attacks chosen ones directly or with obvious force. Instead, he works quietly, planting whispers of doubt, creating fatigue, and amplifying overthinking. You are called to remain aligned. Alignment strengthens purpose. Fear weakens clarity. Keep your eyes on God, not on resistance. As you grow, you will become less reactive to spiritual noise. What once unsettled you will no longer move you. This is growth. This is authority maturing.